Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you today? And Juma Mubarak. This is Chokitable Media. I am coming to you today to talk about the hypocrisy of the world powers, the developed countries, the countries in the United Nations Security Councils. That is what I want us to examine in my own little understanding of what they call diplomacy. In actual sense, today, 1st of August, 2025, I am reading everywhere and have the feeling or the feelers that the world powers will definitely now support the state of Palestine. So, and that news is viral and it's going everywhere. For people that are really interested in this topic of mine, they made me understand that France, Canada, and what other country? These big countries are now ready to support and recognize the state of Palestine. And I start to think what made them to rush out now and say they want to recognize the state of Palestine, despite the fact that everybody in the world, all of us know that that is actually the right thing to do. You cannot be uh, settling quarrel between two brothers and you are supporting one against the other. You are also the one selling weapons to one brother to use those weapons also to kill the other brothers. So we know that this is not right. We know this is not correct. And I start to think, do we want to wait until well, or do they want to wait until one, every child or every children in Palestine is wiped out from the surface of the heart? Do we want to wait until when the elderly, when the young men and women are wiped out from the surface of the heart? Is it until then that we're going to say, okay, we are rising up now and say, let's stop this nonsense? It's actually not working for anyone except for the oppressors. And that is what we need to examine. Why now? Why are they coming up now? So eventually, when I made my research further, what I understand or what I discover is that they want to use this one as a condition for Israel to stop the killing, the genocide that is going on in the whole of Palestine, Gaza, and the rest of the place. Like you understand. So, should this be the reason that they are coming up now? Should they use this one as a bait for Israel to, make them understand that what they are doing is not correct? I think it's I think the right way to do it is to come up and talk to them directly and let the whole world know that they are standing by the principle of justice and equity. But they are not standing by this principle that I talk about. I mean, I don't know what the reason why Israel should be so big, all above the United Nations or the Security Council that nobody can, dare stand up and talk to them and say, okay, yeah, let's stop this killing. If it were to be you, will you also take it like that? I think the America, they should also understand that this should be the principle because they have the power today, they have the upper hand today. It shouldn't make them to be an oppressor because that's exactly what they do. And that is what I'm seeing right here. So the condition is you must stop this to allow food to come in, to allow health to come in into this particular area so that the Palestinian people will be, we have a means to be alive too because how long do they want to do this? Do they want to just clear all this land and take over the land of the others and turn it to their own? And you don't want them to talk. I saw a video so pathetic, but I couldn't play this one on my channel because I don't know what the YouTube will say. Where I saw kids on the street destroying aid brought in for the Palestinian people. The aids, all foods I can see in a big container, and there's this man there standing asking the children to stop matching those food. Can you just imagine? Because this is actually not right. If you think well about it and say, okay, yeah, see, what will our God, our Creator, also want us to do? Will you also like it like this, to see children marching on food that is meant for some other people that are hungry, that don't really have food to eat? The one that are so vulnerable that you turn your gun to them and start to kill them. Yes, you kill them with your gun. At the same time, you're still killing them with hunger. So, and that is what I want us to discuss. I will read an excerpt from a news journal that I found online. Say France, UK, other plans to recognize a Palestinian state. What does that change? Can it change? What does it change if they have to do this? So we know that the condition, like I told you, the condition has been given so that the Israeli government will have to be, afraid. Would they actually be afraid because they want to declare a Palestinian state? And would they even see it through because they are signing, they are proposing? It is not as if they want to recognize it, out of their own free will, but they attach condition to it. So France and the United Kingdom are among the latest countries preparing to formally recognize a state of Palestine, a move by the two permanent members of the United Nations Security Council that will deepen the splits with Israel and the United States over the 22-month war in Gaza. Canada this week also joined the chorus of nations that recently signed the openness to recognize Palestinian statehood. The planned recognition expected as early as September could mark a turning point, while France appears ready to move unconditionally. Britain and Canada have tied their decision to action by Israel or Palestinian Authority, which governs part of Israeli-occupied West Bank. The shift reflects mounting global outrage over humanitarian toll in Gaza, including report of widespread starvation in the besieged territory. So that's what I read, what I read online about this particular issue. I don't know which stand or which side of the divide you are standing. Are you standing for humanitarian? Are you standing for two-state solution and stuff like this? Which side are you standing? However, let me continue my expressing my frustration. I have right here. I will play for you the khutbah that I had from Sheikh Shoaib Ali. So explaining to kids at a summer holiday camp, teaching them about Surah Al-Kahf, the first story in the Surah Al-Kahf from the Quran, chapter number 18 of the Holy Quran, teaching them and explaining to them. Particularly, the first story is the story of the guys that went into the cave and they hid themselves there for a certain period of time. And I will leave you to, allow you to understand how the Sheikh put the story. And it's really, really very important for you to understand even if you are not a Muslim, you need to just try to see, the mathematical miracle from the Quran that's making this to match up together, and at the same time relating this history or this story from the Quran to what is happening between Israel and Palestine right now. Are there, this correlation? And that is what I want you to see. So let me just leave you because I don't want this thing to be too long. So let's watch this one. Then after that, we come back and discuss.
Rasulullah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة. Now in this khutbah I want to reflect on Surah Al-Kahf, which is the 18th chapter of the Quran. And in Surah Al-Kahf, we have the story of the young men who went and took refuge in a cave. So I want to reflect on that story, and there are other stories in Surah Al-Kahf which we may not have time to deal with today, but we can always deal with them on another day. Reflecting on our situation here at home, we see that there are many children and youth here, and I'm so delighted to know that they are learning and developing all of the khuluq, the characteristics which are those of a Muslim. The good behavior that we all want to see, that is what our children here and youth are excelling in and getting prizes for. So I congratulate all of you, even those who didn't get the prize and didn't get the recognition. I know you were all trying, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you those good characteristics, even if you did not win a certificate for it. But your ultimate certificate is with Allah on the Day of Judgment, when you will get your record of your deeds, and then you will see the record of your deeds will show whether you have had the right practices, the right behaviors, and the right akhlaq. So develop these khuluq one at a time, and inshallah that will be your ultimate success. Having good character will also help you in this life. Now I want to return to Ashab al-Kahf. They're called Ashab al-Kahf, which literally means the companions of the cave. There was a story prior to Islam about some youth who went to sleep in a cave. The Mufassirun say that these may have been some Christian men who lived in a time when their faith was being persecuted. And so they went to take refuge in a cave so that they can continue to practice their faith. Our situation in some ways is like that, in that we are here in the summer day camp, isolated for so many hours from the wider society. We are at the same time integrated in thought about what the wider society is offering, and what we're using whatever is available to further our own development, our own akhlaq, and at the same time the wider practice of Islam. So for example, we know that there is AI out there, we know that there is artificial intelligence. We are not devoid of that, we can use that too. But our religion teaches us to use everything with good conscience. So we cannot use AI to cheat. So others may be using it to cheat, but we come here in this Islamic environment to learn to use all of the good things that Allah has provided, but use them in a way that is pleasing to Allah Azza wa Jal. So those young men went to take refuge in the cave, and they were put to sleep. And how long they slept? Allah says, لِنَعْلَمَ أَيَّ الْحِزْبَيْنِ أَحْصَى لِمَا لَبِثُوا عَمَدًا. So that we may know which of the two parties will better calculate how long they have slept. Whether the sleepers themselves, when they woke up, do they have a clear idea, like how long have we slept? And what about the other people around? Would they be able to estimate correctly how long these people have slept? It is by the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I think kids might be interested to hear this, that while they were there in the cave, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions their dog. وَقَلْبُهُمْ بَاسِطٌ ذِرَاعَيْهِ بِالْوَصِيدِ. And their dog was stretching out its forelimbs onto the sill, onto like the opening of the door, as if the dog is there guarding them throughout this entire time. Of course, by intention. A faithful dog would be there on guard for you, and that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is representing one of his creatures, this dog that was there with the Ashab al-Kahf, with the people of the cave. It is interesting that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions what the people are saying. سَيَقُولُونَ ثَلَاثَةٌ رَابِعُهُمْ كَلْبُهُمْ وَيَقُولُونَ خَمْسَةٌ وَسَادِسُهُمْ كَلْبُهُمْ رَجْمًا بِالْغَيْبِ وَيَقُولُونَ سَبْعَةٌ وَثَامِنُهُمْ كَلْبُهُمْ. So they're giving different numbers. Some people are saying, like, they're wondering, like, how many of these men were there? How many were there? So some said they were 3 and their dog makes 4. Some said they were 5 and their dog makes 6. Some said they're just shooting in the dark. They have no clear idea. And some say 7 and their dog makes 8. So nobody knows their exact number. Then in the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلِ اللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِعَدَّتِهِمْ. Allah, tell them, Allah knows best what is their number. For the Muslim, it doesn't matter how many there were. What matters are the moral lessons, the teachings that we gather from their story. But what is also interesting in this ayah, this is the 22nd ayah of the Quran, of Surah Al-Kahf, and you can look at it yourself. Let's think about these numbers that were mentioned so far. The numbers are 3, and their dog makes 4, or 5, and their dog makes 6, or 7, and their dog makes 8. So you see there are 6 numbers altogether, right? Now if you add up these 6 numbers, starting with 3 going all the way to 8, help me here, children. So if we start with 3, we want to add 4 to it, that will give us 7. And if we add 5, that will give us 12. And if we add 6, that will give us what? 18. And we add 7, that will give us what? 25. And we add 8 finally, that will bring us up to 33. 33. Abdullaim Kahil of the website Kahil7.com pointed out in a video that you can easily find on YouTube that when you count the number of words in this ayah, this is the 22nd ayah of Surah Al-Kahf, if you count the words, you will see that there are exactly 33 words in this ayah. You see how profound this is? Like we know that there are ayat that rhyme with each other, right? The last word of one ayah rhymes with the other.
Now that you've heard the story, you watch it as well from the Sheikh. I want you to make your decision also. Put your comment in the comment section. Let me know what you feel. And you need to do one thing for me. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Like it, share it, and put on your notification button. And God bless you as you do. And see you next time. We pray that the war in Gaza should be stopped. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless everyone all around the world. And, take war away from us. And don't allow us to start to kill ourselves. Put sense of understanding in our dealings. And let us just recognize ourselves as human beings, that we are all equal in front of you. Ya Allah, Ya Rabbul Alameen. Ya Zul Jalali wal Ikram. Keep us alive. Keep our children alive. And save all the area where war is going on all around the world. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye for now.